My sister took the popcorn and she went wham, and she threw it at her and it went everywhere, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be that type of party.
Our love will shine at the dawn of a brand new feeling. Just take your time and you see that the magic's on its way.
Hey guys, it's your girl X Beauty, and today is a special day. Yeah. Anytime y'all tune into one of my videos, it's a special day. So this video I filmed twice. It actually deleted, so I'm refilming it because I love you guys, and y'all need to come back. I know I was gone for 4 months, but this is out of control. Y'all comment something below, get more active on my stuff, and let me know y'all mess with me. Also follow me on TikTok, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today's video is going to be a story time about how I got banned from the movie theater, and it wasn't just me. Before y'all start judging, I'm gonna tell y'all the story and then y'all can form y'all opinions on that. So to be honest, I really don't even know where to start, because if y'all can count on anything from me, it's that I'm going to give y'all the raw truth. So let's start from the beginning. In my last story time, I talked about a friend group where it was me, Jam Jam. I think I named her Leah or Leia. Girl, we just gonna go with Leah. This is about Leia's boyfriend. Leia's boyfriend, we're gonna name him Travis. Travis, he was just there. I never really took time to get to know Travis. I was never attracted to Travis in that way, because that was my homegirl's boo. Me and Travis and Jam Jam and Leia, we will all go out together. We would go to like the movies, basketball games. We were in a very long relationship, so it was basically all of us as a clique, and everybody in that grade, they didn't have relationships that lasted long, so we kind of formed our own group. Because you know how when you're in a relationship and you hang out with a single person and you like, I can't do this. So that's why we had that little group. Later I end up, we all end up graduating, leaving the school. This is a couple years later, and probably like 2 or 3, I was at a basketball game with my sister, and we were just out. We never liked to be home. We always liked to go to the basketball games. It was me, my cousin, and my sister, and we would just walk around, talk to boys, stuff like that. This was way before Brandon, so before y'all start, I'm telling Brandon. Did I say basketball or football? I meant to say football. The football game, it was going pretty slow, and people there were actually watching the game. And it was a couple people, like younger people, that were there, and they were lit and stuff. So we was like, oh, all right, we're gonna go sit over there. We sat over there, we chilling. Push come to shove, the basketball game starts to end, so we all start leaving the stadium. It was a big old stadium, and we getting cheese fries and food, and we all kind of funneling out of this door, because they would have like fish fries for football games and stuff like that. We got the food from the concession stand and we're leaving. It's kind of muddy, and I remember like jumping a little to get to the car, because it was like mud puddles and it had rained and all this stuff. So boom, we finally get to the car, and I check my phone because I heard a ding sound, and y'all, it always start like that. Like, bro, if somebody was in a phase of your life and they hit you up out of nowhere, just don't text back. If you're done with that phase, like literally don't text back, because it's not good. It's just going to get you back in some BS that you don't want to be in. I get a text and it's from Travis. At first I'm like, what? Because this is my homegirl's man. I'm like, why is Travis texting me? Like, Travis know not to play like this on my phone. But I was not with Jam Jam anymore. Me and Jam Jam had broke up, because he had the pictures of his aunt in his phone undressing and shit. So me and Jam Jam was not together no more, but we had a pretty long relationship, but he ended up cheating on me. So I'm like, why is Travis hitting me up? Like, this part of my life is over. But I didn't do any self-growth. I felt like I wanted to invite Travis to like stunt on Travis, like, yeah, Travis, go back to Jam Jam and tell him that I'm doing better than him, because they were homeboys at the end of the day. Hold on. Travis basically hit me up like, oh, how you been, trying to start a conversation and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, I've been good, and we just been out, we lit, da 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 da. Not even thinking Travis is flirting with me, because Travis had that personality where he flirt with anything with 2 legs. Travis' personality was like, and sister, y'all remember Roger? And it was like, go home, Roger. That's how Travis was. Like, Travis, he was romantic and he was sweet, but he was just short. and he wasn't my type at all. So I have to give a description of his race for this story to make sense. So Travis, he was basically of Hispanic descent. He was shorter, he had straight like spiky hair, and yeah, that's how he looked. Like, he didn't look, you know, Hispanic, kind of looking a little like ethnic, like black. No, he was like, you can tell, you know, his heritage or whatever. Yeah. Travis hit me up and he's basically flirting, but I don't think anything of it because Travis is always flirting, and him and Leia are far done. Like, this was years ago. We thought we were serious back then, but we really weren't. So him and Leia are done with. I'm not thinking, oh, I want to go out with Travis. It never gave I want to go out with Travis, but I was bored and there was basically nothing to do. So we were at this football game on like a Friday night, and he asked me out to go to the movies on Saturday, and I'm like, yeah, cool, but it wasn't a date. Like, he made it seem like it wasn't a date. He was like, oh, you just trying to hang out? Like, I haven't seen you in a while, da, 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 da. And he was sliding things like, oh, you know you bad. I'm like, what? Like, bro, men will do anything. Like, they will literally be talking like, oh, what you doing, and find a way to like whip it in back to something crazy. I don't know what it is about men. I was like, yeah, sure. Back then, my dad, he didn't want us going to the movies where it was just me and a boy. He was like, okay, well, you can go to the movies, but you got to bring your brother, your sister. Like, you got to choose one. A friend, not even a friend, because my friends were sneaky, but he was like, you have to choose one. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna go with my sister. So I asked my sister, I was like, oh, can you take me? Because my sister drive. Back then, my sister, she was the go-to, man. Like, if you wanted to go somewhere, and I feel so bad for her because she was like our little Uber driver back then, and she loved it because she would go on our little adventures and we would go on her adventures. I asked her, I said, oh, you trying to come to the movies? Fuck, I forgot a part of the story. So after I get this text from Travis, my sister, she hears my phone going off and she's like, who is that? Because he texts me like multiple times, and you can see me getting quiet. Like, I'm slowly getting invested. Like what is Travis talking about? I'm not going like, no, because it's Travis. I should have named Travis Roger. And I'm kind of like, oh, cool, like, that's the move, bet. I kind of knew my sister was already gonna say yes, but I still wanted to ask her to be sure. So I was like, hey, do you want to come to the movies with me tomorrow? And basically when I said that, I was kind of sliding in there, can you drive us to the movies? You get what I'm saying? I was basically sliding in there, could you take us to the movies and hang out with us? Like, because how else was I supposed to get to the movies or whatever? So she's like, yeah, that's cool, it's lit. Back then, my sister, she was a hothead. She was, it's like, she always put her 2 cents in on stuff, and she was very, what's the word? She was very impulsive and just angry, you know? But it's like, she don't even have to be angry about anything. She would just randomly be angry. And I don't think it was random. I think she was going through a lot of stuff that I didn't know about at the time, because, you know, I was young. She couldn't share with me what was going on, and basically I couldn't really understand. So whatever. So she was like, oh yeah, I'll take you. So I'm like, all right, bet. Go to sleep, wake up, it's time to go to the movies with Travis. Travis texted me, can you pick me up from my job? I said, cool, where you work? He was like, Dairy Queen. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go, well, me and my sister, we get dressed, we put on our Jordans, our jeans, and our little crop tops, and burn the shit out of our hair for our sew-ins. And at this time, my cousin, she didn't really grow up with sisters around her, so we were kind of like her sisters. So everywhere we went, we took her, because we know, duh, she gonna be in the house, and she's around our same age, so she quickly became like a sister of ours. So she's like, oh, I want to go. Where we going? I'm like, yeah, we're going to the movies. It's cool, I'll pay for you. So she comes, and boom, we all in the car, we all dressed, we all looking cute, and we basically like, oh, we finna turn up, we finna get lit. And I could have sworn somebody else was there. I don't know, it was either my cousin or my brother, I don't know. I just know somebody else was there. And it's crazy how, like, in stories you can forget who all is there. Like, that's crazy as fuck. So we pick him up, and you know, he's chilling. He's not really the type of person that's like, what's up, y'all, what's up? He's just like this. That's why I don't like Travis. Like, so it was nothing wrong with Travis, he just wasn't my type. Back then I wanted toxic, exciting. I was so used to toxic that when a good guy came I just, like, it's not even a good guy. It's like, I don't know, that wasn't my type. Like, super nice, shorter than me, and just too attentive. That was not my type at all. I wanted something like a chase. Yeah. So Travis just wasn't that chase, but I was still hanging out as friends because I'm like, what else am I gonna do on a Saturday night? Like, I wasn't even going to think like, oh, he gonna pay for me and I'm gonna run his pockets. No. Even at a young age, I've always been the female that's like, I'm gonna pay for my own stuff. Like, I don't need your money. I might even pay for your stuff type shit. So yeah. Oh, that's hard. Y'all look at this. Hold on, y'all can't see, but this is nice. It's so cute. Give me another candle. Okay, so Travis gets in the car and we're chill and we're like, all right, let's get to the movie. So what movie we trying to see? We was trying to see like a scary movie or something like that. We get into the movies, everything was perfectly fine. We sit down and my cousin and my sister trying to be funny, like they run to the row behind us like, oh, they on a date. And I'm like, we're not. Like, why would you do that? Like it was supposed to be, you know, Travis, me, my sister, my cousin, like, so we could get our little kiki in and Travis can hang out with us too. But no, they want to be funny, so they sit behind me, and this is why Travis was getting on my nerves. Okay, Travis was a nice guy, and I just feel like it was just he just wasn't my type at all. Travis talking during the movie, like eating popcorn and talking, like, and it wasn't even just talking like, oh, so what are you doing after this? Like, one, that would piss me off because it's like watching this movie, but he was like just trying to be romantic talking, and I was just like, that's exactly how it was. So the movie started and he's still talking, saying little stuff, and I'm just giving him face, like, be quiet. So Travis ends up catching a hint and he's quiet, so I'm like, bet. So we go on watching the movie. Next thing you know, the fucking lights go off and they have to evacuate the theater. Like, nothing wanted me to watch this movie. Nothing wanted me. And I think I actually wanted to watch it. I can't remember, but I just remember like actually wanting to go to the movies and enjoy the actual movie theater. So they start evacuating us and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. They probably just gonna let us go back in later. It's probably just like a technical issue or something like that. But around this time, there were a lot of movie theater shootings, and it just wasn't in your best bet to go to the movies all freely and just, you know, be there every weekend, because it was, when I tell you around this time, it was very popular. I don't know why, but they were happening all over the place, and it was genuinely starting to scare people. But did that stop me and my teen cousins? No, it didn't, because we didn't watch the news, and we had this mindset that we were invincible from violence in the world. Like, we were untouchable. No, ma'am. If you have that mindset, drop it. Like, literally, if you have that mindset and you're young right now, drop it, because it's gonna, bro, it's just not a good mindset to have. It can get you in a lot of stuff. Like, you overestimate your safety-ness sometimes, and yeah. The lady comes, everyone's evacuating the movie theaters. It was like us and a couple of other people evacuating their movie theater. I think it was like a power outage or like I don't know what happened, a fire drill. I don't know what happened, but we got evacuated out of the movie theater. And I remember walking out with my popcorn. I had this big old drink in my hand. We were all kind of sharing the popcorn because, you know, we was cheap. We were just like, oh, what do you think it is? You know, just a normal talk, like when stuff goes wrong in the movie theater. What do you think it is? Do you think it's a school, not a school shooting? Do you think it's a another movie theater shooting? Now we're starting to get serious because we're like, whoa, that is a possibility, isn't it? Yeah. And no, it was not that, thank God. But there was a technical difficulty with I think it was a fire alarm or something like that. It had to be. But we're walking out and everyone's asking questions like that. And my sister's like, oh, but we better get our money back though. I just know we better get our money back though. And I was like, oh shoot, like I just already knew where this shit was going. So the lady walks up and she was like, excuse me? But she didn't say it like in a disrespectful way yet. She was just trying to check her without checking her. Like, yeah. And at the time, my sister, she was with all the smoke, okay? She was ready for all the wars. She wanted the violence. She wanted it. She woke up and chose violence every morning. She says excuse me, and my sister doesn't really hear her because I talk over her. I'm like, oh, we're just wondering like what's going on. And you know, she just started talking. I don't remember what she said, but it kind of dialed down because my sister was like just listen to her like like with the attitude, but like trying to be respectful. But she didn't. My sister got that face where she wears her emotions on her face. So you know, some people can kind of like tell and they'll just brush it off, because you know, a lot of people carry their emotions on their face. It doesn't really mean like you did something wrong. It's literally just them carrying their emotions on their face. She brushed it off and she kept walking. This is not where the fiasco happened. What I'm about to tell you is when the fiasco happened, okay? 10 minutes passed, we're talking, and you know, people are starting to get antsy because they cut the movie off on like the best part, and we sitting here like, okay, like are they gonna start letting us back in? Like, we want to go back in now. Yeah, they started letting us back in. We all got in the line, and they're very strict about, you know, sneaking into movies around this time. That's where stuff hit the fan. We started to slowly go back in. They started letting a line open, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, one by one, take your time. You know the stuff they say. Oh, be careful, da da da. They're asking us questions. What movie did you book for? Because it wasn't just us being evacuated. It was a couple of movie theaters. It wasn't the whole movie theater. It was like three places being evacuated, or whatever you want to say. So yeah, they were like, what movie were you seeing? They're just trying to quiz you to see if you were trying to sneak in the movie. So there was a guy in front of us, and you know, she was talking to him, asking him certain questions, and we were behind him. And my sister, she hears it, and she's like, oh, she better not try us like this. Like, back then, I was like, I don't care who's in the wrong. If my sister do something, I'm gonna stand 10 toes on it. But you gotta watch who you do that for, because some people, like, they don't know that, like, they pick fights, like, out of nowhere. So yeah, like, it could probably be like a legitimate reason to them, but it might not be a legitimate reason to you. Yeah, my sister was like my second mom. So her beliefs were kind of my belief, because I had this like, oh, I don't care if we do some ignorance or not, I'm gonna stand behind mine. I'm gonna stand. But it took me to like get older and grow into myself and realize that's not what I stand for. Like, you know, all this could have been avoided or whatever. So it's finally our turn, and it's the same lady. She already had an attitude with us because she kind of heard my sister, you know, walking up and being like, I just know we better get our money back. So she was kind of already treating us like that. And she's like,
oh, what movie are you gonna see?
We named the movie, and she asked another question, you know, just trying to be funny, and we ain't get the joke, so we just sitting there like, okay, like, let us let us in the movie now. And she said,
okay, so you and you can go except you.
And she pointed to Travis, and Travis was of Hispanic descent. Like I said, he didn't look like us. Like, he couldn't even, you know how some Hispanics, like, they're tan and they can get away for being black or whatever. And I feel like, I don't know, it was so wrong of her to do this. Like, my sister, she already had enough, and she was like, why he can't get in?
She was like, oh, I know what y'all are doing. Y'all trying to sneak him in the movie theaters. He's not with y'all. He's not with y'all.
And I don't know why she came up with this lie, but she said, he's our cousin. And I was like, why didn't she just say we was on a date? Matter of fact, I'm glad she didn't say we was on a date, because I would have fell out. I would have fell out in the movies. Like, don't embarrass me like that. Shit. So we're going to give my sister a name now, because she has a legitimate part in the story. So we're going to name her Sparkle, because she was like a firecracker back then. And she's gotten like a lot better now. Like, she, you know, controls her anger. And I feel like it took us to get older and grow out of all of our trauma to just really connect back with each other. But during this time, it was, child, we was like a storm. We was so ignorant.
I know what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to sneak him in the movies for free.
But I promise y'all, Travis was in the movies in the beginning. Like, Travis never, like, what do we look like picking up some random, okay, look, hold on, because I used to tell random adults outside, like, can you be my mama real quick? And they used to be like, yeah, $10. So I get it, but we was genuinely not trying to sneak Travis up in that movie. Travis had been in that movie. So my sister got mad, and she was yelling, check the cameras, check the cameras. And she was already like on 10. So the workers started getting on 10, because she felt like we're not even arguing about the damn movie theater situation no more. We arguing about how you coming at me. So yeah, she's like, check the cameras, check the cameras. And the workers started to get a little disrespectful. And my sister, she took the popcorn and she went bam. Like she yelled a couple of other racist things. I cannot remember. I don't know if she has something against people of Hispanic descent or what. My sister took the popcorn and she went wham, and she threw it at her and it went everywhere. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be that type of party. All right, y'all, we gonna have to we can't fold. You know, we like, yeah, what she said. We weren't mad, me and my cousin, we weren't mad until she started saying the racist stuff. Cause like, I don't care if this is not my family, and I don't even care if this is Travis, but don't do that. Like, that's so ugh. It's so cute. It's a little moon right here. So yeah, she was just wilding. And once my sister like already got out what she had to say, the lady was like, oh, y'all can get the fuck out. I called the police. And by this, like, when we were arguing, we started at the door, because the door was kind of like right near the exit. We started at the door, but once my sister threw the popcorn, we like, yeah, you walking back out the door. So that's how the lady was like, oh, I got your license plate, I called the police already. We heard police and we oh, I don't know why I just had to do this. I think I was just trying to prove to my sister I'm big dog. Like, I don't know why I did this, but y'all remember that big old cup of Sprite? And I actually don't even think it was Sprite. It was slushy. It was blue slushy. That is so ignorant. Oh my God. But I think I was trying to prove myself to my sister, like, I stand behind you. I stand behind you. So yeah, so I take this big old slushy and I throw it down like this. Bam. And we did. But my sister, she was looking at me like, what? Would you do that in front of everybody? So I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to stand behind you, dog. Like, yeah, because when she said she was calling the police, I was thinking, since my sister threw the popcorn and she going to jail for vandalism, I'm going to throw this drink and I'm going to go to jail for vandalism. So I can, you know, step behind my sister. I don't know. Y'all, my logic was so stupid. I'm so sorry. And we get in the car and Travis is still there and he's kind of looking like, whoa. And after this, we never hung out ever. But after this, he was just like, at first he was like, oh my God, like, I've never been in anything like this. Like, he was looking around like, like with a smile on his face, because it was kind of exciting for him. But we was used to this, you know, ratchet stuff. We weren't even raised like that, so I don't know why we were acting like that. But we get in the car and, you know, my sister, she peeled off. Okay, we're zooming back home because once we heard police, we're like, yo, we gotta go home, we gotta lay low for it. But we had to park in the garage, baby. Well, we gotta get home quick and park the car in the garage, and we're gonna go to the basement, period. We ain't even gotta tell mom and dad about it. And the whole ride home, my sister's like, Travis, cause why would she try you like that? Why would she try you? And then she looked back, she said,
and you
talking about me. As if I didn't get embarrassed enough in front of the whole movie theater, and I deserve every second of it, because why would you throw that drink? Like, just because somebody's acting out don't mean you need to act out too. Like, what was wrong with younger me? Like, why was I such a follower? Anyways, so yeah, so she was like, and you, and I already knew. I'm like, Travis, look away, Travis, because this is so embarrassing. Yeah, so, you know, she's ripping me a new one. Why would you throw that drink? Do you realize we can go to jail? And I'm sitting there like, I don't care, because, you know, I gotta still save some face. Travis is sitting beside me. I don't care about none of that. We couldn't even drop Travis off because the police was after us. So we just had to go home and go sit in the garage for a bit. And Travis had to come home with me after I got yelled at. Anyways, we get home, we pull into the garage, and now me and Travis are starting to talk. And he's looking at me like, should I ask? Like, are you okay? Because, no. Bro, I just bust out laughing, and we started laughing about the whole situation. And we was just talking. I'm sitting in the basement, you know, my brother come down now. My brother, he was really a homebody back then. Yeah, so we finally get home, me and Travis are talking. We're just laughing about the experience, and we got into this long talk about race and, you know, what's respectful. Y'all know the drill. When something happened to you and you're racially profiled, y'all know how y'all do the long talk about race and why people should not be treated like that. You know, everybody kind of cooled down and we take Travis home. that is the end of the story time. And yeah, the lady said that we're banned from the movie theater. We haven't been back since. And it's so funny because my dad was like,
when did they go to the movies?
and me and my sister were like, no, we're good, we're good, we're good. I love the movies. Yeah, I should never did that. That was very wrong on my part, and I apologize sincerely. It's funny, and you know, it's like hilarious to laugh at now, but at the end of the day, some innocent worker had to clean that up, and that was very irresponsible. So don't be like me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Thank you guys for watching, and if you guys want to shop my crystal cat collars, go ahead and click that link in my description and shop. I love you. Bye.
There is nothing in your eyes, but that's the way